anymore. Yes, I was a broken woman. Yes, I didn't love me. Yes, I decided to settle for what wasn't best for me. Yes, I was in a toxic relationship. Guess what? Not anymore. I have grown from the broken pieces. I have learned to love me when no one else loved me. I have learned that I will never settle for in my life or my peaceful atmosphere. I have learned the difference between love, lust of a good relationship. Yes, I wasn't perfect, but I learned to work on my mind, my body, and my soul connections. Yes, I have allowed the wrong spiritual around me. Now I've learned about the not allowing the negative energy around me. Yes, I've been down the road of destruction. Now I've learned how to not move by emotion, but by the spirit of my faith and purpose. Not anymore, my fears will not keep me from being a better version of me. Not anymore, my toxicness will stop me from loving myself or trusting others in my peaceful place. Not anymore, my lack of post-trauma is going to stop me from my future growth. Yes, not anymore. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm overcoming. I know I'm a positive. I know I'm loved. And yes, not anymore. I'm dope. Dedicated to other people's empowerment. I love my dopeness and so should you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the I Speak Domestic Violence and Breast Cancer Awareness Conference. And today we have Miss Shameka Harris in the building. How you doing, Miss Shameka?
I am great. How are you? How you
I'm,
doing?
I am good. I'm good. I can't complain. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday. Tomorrow, Monday, Lord, back to the work week.
Yes, unfortunately, back to the work week.
Unfortunately, well, we are fortunate, that we do have jobs. So, we are fortunate. It's not a misfortune.
Right. Let's be grateful for that. So
We
can you
have to be.
so can you tell the people where you tuning in from?
I am tuning in from Houston, Texas. Houston has been home. I was born in Chicago, but Houston has been home. Oh, I guess now I can say I'm a Houstonian because I've been here 18 years.
Wow.
In Houston. Yeah.
All right now. I ain't never been to Houston, Texas.
You gotta come. You gotta come. But I need to get out there with you too. So that's my next trip. I will be out there to visit you. Um out in New York. Like, man, I can't wait to get out there. But you gotta come to Houston.
I do. What's crazy is a couple of people told me I need to come out there already. It's crazy. I've met a lot of people from Houston, Texas, like during my network and
Yeah.
internet scene. I've met a lot of people from over there. I'm like, I might have to come out
You
there.
have to. You have to come to Houston. Houston is definitely the place to network, to build, your platform and, kind of see it's a lot of powerful people here in Houston. So, and even still just to come visit, see what the city has to offer. It's a lot to do here. You love it. It's just a beautiful city.
So that means we gonna have to put something together
We surely can.
and get
We
us
surely can.
like a woman retreat event or something, a conference in person.
That's been on my prayer list and something on my vision board for 2023 is to actually, put together a conference. So we definitely need to, get together and start that and, see how to plan it out and get you here so you can speak to my people.
Yes.
So definitely, yes, that is on the list for 2023.
So tell me, what is you gonna talk to the people about today?
Oh, so, when we were, talking about what this month represents, domestic violence and breast cancer awareness, domestic violence is really, truly close to my heart because I have experienced that myself. And it kind of, not kind of, it does lead you down a dark path. It's a struggle to try to break away from domestic violence, especially if you've, been with a person for a very long time. If sometimes you're stuck in a situation because of finances and all of those different things will keep you in a situation that are not good for you. And when you talked about, having this platform and doing this show, I definitely wanted to be a part of it because I just want to encourage people, encourage men and women. I know we both kind of deal with it, a lot more women who deal with it and are speaking out about it. Domestic violence is just, I just want to encourage someone today to kind of be able to choose themselves. I think a lot of, people, and the reason why, women stay in situations that are not good for them are because they feel inadequate. They don't think that they're enough. They don't think that they have enough, to go out and make a life for their own. They don't even know who they are, apart from their abuser. They don't know who they are in Christ. They don't know what they offer to the world. They just don't know. And so that has just been my journey to kind of encourage women to get out there and find out who you are, find out what you love, find out, what you mean to the world, and it's just sad that a lot of people kind of stay in these bad relationships and they have children. So for me, I stuck around because I had children, and that wasn't a good enough excuse or a reason to stay um, with someone because we had children, because that did them no good. It was more harmful to them to grow up in a home where they saw a lot of violence. So, I just want to encourage women to choose themselves, to make yourself a priority, and to love yourself because, first of all, if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. And how can you expect, to raise healthy children if you are not being a good example of what love is? And that first starts with you. So I would just like to encourage you to kind of, if you need to take a step back to reevaluate why you are with the person. And it's not always, starting with just hitting. Domestic violence starts a lot of times with words and them belittling, who you are and making you feel less than and taking you from your families and, secluding you to themselves and trying to control where you go and who you talk to and what you can and can't do, what you can and can't wear. You have to be very aware of those type of people, because it does lead to, domestic violence and them wanting to fight you. And there was a couple of times where I thought one time that I was going to be paralyzed because I had, been dropped on my back. And there was another time where, I had my son and I was in the hospital alone, but I was in early labor because um, I was pushed into a bathtub. So it's just things like that. I just felt like I wasn't enough. I didn't deserve better. Um, Here I am, with children, with someone who didn't respect me enough to even not put his hands on me, even pregnant, with his children. That was something that I kind of, struggle with and suffer with. I don't like to talk about it a lot because my children are older and I just don't want them to have that view. But we have always, talked about, what they've seen. We're very open when it comes to discussing how they feel about different things. I've been very vocal, to my children with what I dealt with because I don't want my daughters to deal with that. And I definitely don't want my sons to, put any other woman through anything like that. So you have to know who you are. You have to know your worth. You have to know what your purpose is. You have to always, put yourself above other people because you have nothing to offer anybody else if you don't have that love for yourself. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. You cannot give the world the good that you have because you don't even know that you have those goods. You haven't unlocked that part of you. And so my encouragement is to always offer with, my sincerest, deepest, heartfelt emotions that you guys, women and men, understand who you are and that you were created for a purpose. And you have to get to a safe place. You have to get away. It is not easy all the time. A lot of times it's not easy, and your family doesn't make it easy for you either. They kind of like look at you like, why are you, doing this or doing that? And because they don't understand the depths of what you're going through or what you've been through. And so you have to kind of block that out of your mind and listening to what other people have to say about your relationship. If you know a person is putting their hands on you, you do not stay in that. They do not change. As much as I always tell people God can change anybody, God will change, any situation. But what it is that person have to accept God into their lives for him to change them. And not a lot of people want to do that. A lot of people don't want to accept Christ. A lot of people don't want to be well or be healthy or live better. A lot of people are okay being exactly who they are. And you can't stay with someone who's okay with putting their hands on you. You have to understand that you are worthy, that you serve a purpose. And if you have children, if you have daughters, really, your daughters do not deserve to see their mother be hit on. Your sons do not deserve to see their mother be hit on, because that puts something in their mind. What are you telling your children about who you are? What are you telling your children about the respect that they should have for you if you don't have respect for yourself? It took me a while to get out of, that relationship, that marriage. But now it's just, I can't accept anything less than you showing me the worth that I know that I have, the worth that I know that I exude, my honor, my love, my self worth is that's who I am. That's what I bring to the table. And nobody can break that down. I will not allow anyone to come into my life and, change what I feel about myself, because there was a time that I felt inadequate. There was a time where I felt that I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. I didn't have anything to offer. I was a stay at home mom, when that's not the life God had for me. But I did that. See, all of that was for a lesson. All of that was, to be able to go out and to encourage other women. I made it out. There are lots of women and men who did not make it, out of a domestic violence situation. Here recently, I've been constantly seeing women be killed by their husbands, by their children's father, and then the men turning, on themselves and killing themselves. Like that's just wrong to me. That's so hurtful to me to understand and to know that that is definitely on the rise. And so if you can get away, get away. Another thing is, if you can get away, do it quietly, until you are in a safe place, because a lot of these men, they get upset and angry when you finally figure out who you are. They don't like you to know who you are. They don't like you to understand what your purpose. They don't like the minute that you say, you know what, you're not going to continue to treat me that way, and I accept it. So they try to then turn their anger and it's rage, and then that's when they want to kill you. It goes from just hitting you, pushing you down, slapping you, until now they're angry and they're upset because you're not allowing them to treat you badly anymore. Now they want to kill you. So I say, get out of those situations. Make sure you are quiet. If you can, save you some money. If you can't, still get away, because there are shelters, there are places that will help you, and find you a village of people who understand where you're trying to go. Because it's not going to be easy for you to transition from living in a household with someone that you love, or you're raising children with. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to need a village of people who's going to be able to love you through that, because you're going to have to grow up in areas that you didn't know you needed growing up in. You're going to have to love yourself so much, it's kind of going to look like arrogance almost, like you're being cocky. But you're going to have to love yourself so much to give yourself the strength to keep going. Especially for women with children, I want to encourage you to always affirm yourselves. Always, let yourself know that you are worthy. You were meant to be here. You are beautiful. You deserve nothing less than a man who's going to come and love you whole, fully, not someone who's going to love you based on what they only see of you. Um, so many times we give men uh, parts of us that they don't deserve. We give men too much of us. We give them everything and they only give us a little. That's not a fair exchange. You can't give them everything and they only give you pieces of them. We need men to be more leaders. We need men to be more, loving towards the women that they're in relationship with. And we need these men to go to counseling. These men need some therapy. And we try to make them right. We try to make them whole. We try to do all of this, and we can't do that. That's not our job. We are not there to coddle, to baby these men, to raise them. That's not what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to be the helpmeet to these men. We are to come in and help them along the journey of leading families, but we get so lost in trying to love them up to grow up to be men when they're still boys. So and then we lose ourselves, and that's just not right. That's just not the order that it was supposed to be or intended for us to have. And so if you need ways to um, get away, if you're trying to figure out how to get into a shelter, there are numbers that you can call. If you can't, reach out to me and I'll help you find a place. But you should definitely make sure that you're aware of who you are and that you serve a purpose, and your purpose is not to be a doormat or a punching bag. That's just not it. That's not what God has for your life. I wrote my book Rebuild because there was a period where I felt inadequate. There was a time where I felt like I didn't have anything to offer. I was having children and still felt like I had nothing to offer. Like, if you really grasp that concept and think that through, like, how do you have children? You're supposed to steer your children in the way that they should go. You should steer your children and help them grow up to be, law abiding citizens, be those people who offer the world good, who are amazing people, who are going out and they're awesome citizens. And you know but I had nothing to offer. I felt like I had nothing to offer, but I was having children. That's just like really, really, that made me feel so low. But here I am, 5 years, divorced and doing things on my own. And I cannot, and I will not lie to you. I am doing the best now than I did when I was in a relationship. My life is so much more better because I finally stood up for myself and made myself a priority so that I can give my all to those who deserve it, which are my children. And, the life that we live now, like, I cannot imagine it. Like, God has been so good. God has given me the strength to go out and walk this life. And right now I'm single, but this is the most peace I've I've ever had. Like, this peace is just amazing. When I get home and I have to sit and I need to think, I can do that with a clear mind. When I need to prepare for a program, or when I need to speak, with another woman, when I need to encourage you, when I need to pray, I'm able to do that with a clear mind. I'm able to give my children, sound advice and not be feeling like I'm a hypocrite because I'm not living what I'm teaching them. Like, I'm living what I teach my children. That's the best feeling in the world. And so, for those women who are in a situation where there's domestic violence, I encourage you to get up. I encourage you to wake up the lioness in you. I encourage you to wake up the strong, powerful woman that you were created to be. I encourage you to wake her up so that you are able to live in the fullness of who you are, so that you're able to go out and give us. We want to see you. We want to see you be this amazing woman that God has created you to be. We want to see you be up and do well. I want to see, women come out of domestic violence situations and turn their lives around, because the sermon today at church was turning the tables. And I just think about that, like God really turned the tables in my life. Like he really did that. And what he did for me, he can also do it for you. And so, if you need some encouragement, if you need some loving on, if you need somebody to walk through this thing and how to get out of a situation like that, you can contact me. I can share my information now. Shameka Morton is my personal page on Facebook, or I have a Beautiful Rebuild. That's my business page on Facebook, or a Beautiful Rebuild Instagram. Contact me on any of those platforms, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I help you, reach that point where you're able to go out, get the help that you need so that you can be the best woman or the best man that you need to be, so that you are able to live out your purpose, because that's what we're all made to do. We were made for a purpose, and you can't do that if you're dead. If you have an early death because somebody says they love you so much they want to kill you, that's not love at all. Anybody that puts their hands on you does not love you. I'm sorry. They just don't. Because why do you want to see me hurt? That's not love. I don't want to see anybody I love hurt. That just doesn't feel good to me. So I love you all. I love, being able to share my story. But if you need anything, any encouragement, if you need some hugs, I wish I could hug you. Whatever I have to offer with my journey, I always tell my children, I think I have been through some of everything. And I think that's because God wanted me to be able to share. He knows I'm not afraid to share my journey. He knows that I'm not afraid to encourage somebody to do well and to do better. So if you need some encouragement, just definitely reach out to me and I'll try to help as best I can. Oh, your volume is down.
I was on mute
Oh,
like
there you
I've
go.
been
Okay.
doing all day. But I thank you for sharing all those inspirations and motivations. And, a lot of times they need that. They need that encouragement to know that
Yeah.
they're not alone. They know they, give them the information that they need to find a village, because it's not easy going through and walking through life
No.
alone. A lot of times we don't talk about it till we've gone through other situations. And now, you
Yeah.
know, I try to be a voice to teach people that speak about it now so that you can heal through it a lot
Yep.
earlier than
Yep.
later, because a lot of times we wait till later and we're still taking it through these other relationships and still trying to get ourselves together. So
It's true.
thank
It's true. We do ourselves a disservice,
right,
we cannot be afraid to share, where we've been, because there could be someone hanging on to your every word right now. There's somebody fighting to get away, and all it's going to take is for you to speak about it. So
right.
we got to be mindful of that.
Got to be mindful that people are attached to the story and they're still trying to
Yeah.
figure out their way out.
Yeah.
Some people, like we said about the financial and emotional, like they don't feel confident enough to be in the world by themselves. They
Mm-mm.
might think that, oh well, he made all the money or she made all the money and I can't do it. How am I
Yep.
gonna go out there? So they just sit and deal with whatever's delivered to them. And at the same time, they gotta build their confidence and know that their worth is only based on they and what they feel their worth is, not
There.
nobody
Yep.
telling them that they're not worth this or they're only worth this. They're worth whatever you feel, and your worth
Whatever
should
you
be
feel.
your worth should be way beyond what you even think your worth is.
That's true.
And like you said, it might be kind of cocky, but sometimes you got to be like that.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be cocky, but it is what it is. The life that I live now is, I always think like, man, how crazy is that I was once in a two income household,
Hmm.
and it was seeming like I was barely making it.
Right,
But here I am, and it's just my income, and I live. I do what I want to
right,
do. I go where I
right,
want to go. I enjoy my life. My kids are well taken care of. And that's because, it's not coming from a man. It
right,
comes from nobody but me. I am
right.
the source. And that's because I finally understood and recognized who I was.
Right.
And I knew God had given me something. I knew what he had put on the inside of me. I just needed to be able to go and tap into it.
Right.
And so now that I have, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Right. So listen, y'all hear it. Y'all gotta tap into those powers. Like you gotta know knowledge yourself. You gotta know your worth, and you gotta
Yeah.
trust in yourself. In order
Yeah.
to find peace, you have to find it. You can't get it from nowhere else, and nobody else can give it to you.
No, no. It
Peace,
only comes from within.
right? And as many times as you be like, "Oh, I need peace," or someone to give me peace. No, the peace is in you because if it's toxic, evidently it might be inside of you. So you might need to,
Yeah.
ain't no wrong with going to therapy and
And
talk.
we all have some toxic ways, but we
Right.
need to iron that stuff out.
Right.
Go to you some therapy, get you somebody that is going to help you through this thing. Get you a life coach and who
Mhm.
can, help you see areas where you can grow. There's always something for us to grow up in. There's
Right.
an area for all of us to get better in. And so when you recognize that, you also played a part in some of these, demises of relationships, you also played a part. When you are accountable to your part in it and you grow, man, you unlock something then. You
Right.
unlock it.
Right. Accepting the accountability because a lot of times, we get in these relationships and everybody want to play the victim. But
Mm-mm.
we got to remember that what part did we play in it?
Oh, yes.
What part did we allow? What part did we just say, hey, I saw it, but I didn't do anything about it?
Yeah.
So,
Even stand when you shouldn't.
right.
You have had an uncle or, your grandma, somebody tell you, girl, they put your hands on you, you need to get up
Right.
out of there.
Right.
But we stay, so we have to understand and we need to recognize why we stay.
Right.
Don't let that be, don't sit in the fact that, this person was doing that person only did it because you allowed it.
Right.
So, you need to stand up for yourself.
Absolutely. So, as always, Shamika, it's been a blast having you stop through, giving the
Thank you.
people some nuggets and some gems. So, to people that are watching and watch later, this is Shamika Harris. On her Facebook is Shamika Morton. Please reach out to her. She has
Yeah.
a book. Please get it. It's about mental health. We
Yes.
all need it. It's
Yes.
called the
Yes.
rebuild, and we all need to rebuild ourselves.
Man, it has been, whew, yes. We all need to start over at some point and reprogram the way we think and the way we feel about who we are.
Right.
And when we do that, we unlock the greatness. We just do.
Absolutely. So, Shamika, thank you. Thank you. Guys, I appreciate y'all. This is actually the final show of the I Speak conference.
Ooh,
So, we wrapped it up with you.
awesome. Yay.
And just know we'll be hearing more from her because we do have a book coming out that's in the works right now.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait.
So, all right, guys, we'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye.
Introducing to some and reintroducing to others. Speaker, entrepreneur, motivational coach, and author, Sheena Gadine. If you wish to contact her, you can contact her via email at sgadine16@gmail.com or